Right, we're in and we're on again, and it's a shorter conversation today because we've just had a longer conversation and we didn't record it because I was angry about everything and I was ranting, and it wouldn't be good if anybody heard what I had to say about what I thought about the world around about me at this moment in time, because I've had enough. I've had enough of people with no standards and people with low standards. I've just had enough. It's necessary to have quality in your life, not quantity. It's necessary to have quality. One good thing is enough. One good partner is enough. One good relationship is enough. One good car is enough. One good flat is enough. Hell, one good friend is enough. It's necessary to have some kind of quality and standards, because I had a rant about the scientific method improving general standards of society, which it did before it was taken over by the communists and fascists and socialists throughout history to give us this false paradigm that we live within right now. And so often everything we start with has the best intentions and slowly slides into negativity, especially over longer periods of time. So I'm happy that nobody heard that rant. That was a brief summary of about half an hour of nonsense. And any comments about my rant?
No comment.
No.
One small comment. Our today conversation might be shorter, but better than usual.
I like the long conversations. I either get it right at the beginning and get what I want to say right at the beginning and forget to record it, or end up needing to have a very long conversation where the first hour is trying to hit the ball, and then after about an hour I hit the ball and finally get the ideas out of my head. It takes time. The question about standards was that the enemy of great is good, because the people who are just satisfied with good are going nowhere. Now, there's nothing wrong with that. You want to go nowhere. You want to be just satisfied with being good. That's okay. But you'll never be excellent. You'll never be great. You'll never get to the top of the tree if you're happy halfway up and sitting there. Now, you can be happy there. That's okay. But I'm just sick of people who are not prepared to do the extra effort that they need to make that little bit of difference, which could change the world in the future. They could be leaders, but they're not pushing themselves hard enough. They could be macheteing a new path through the jungle of life in preparation so that maybe other people can follow, although they don't have to. Nobody needs to follow you. A leader doesn't need followers. They can just lead things away by themselves. So that was my thought, that the enemy of great is good, because people think that being good is enough, but that's not enough. The world is driven forward by people who are driven, basically. The warriors of life.
The question is, which direction
Yeah, I was just
is
about
good or bad, or
yeah,
which is, or where is the forward?
it's that way.
Maybe
The
that or that or that.
To see the way forward, take a step back. That's what they used to say. Anyway, you made a point earlier that whether we do something good or bad essentially is kind of irrelevant, because the drivers that take us through the action that leads to the result of good or bad are the same drivers a lot of the time. Would that be right? Is that right? Did I get that right? Maybe not.
Maybe yes. The question of bad or good is irrelevant question, because even though all processes, all things have both poles, and all things are good and bad simultaneously always. So you're right.
Yay. Success.
Success.
We talked about success before, and we came to the root of it, which was seed, which was sort of to allow things to happen, and sometimes to get out of the way of life as life happens. But we've just come to another understanding of success, which is that a lot of people put success out in front of themselves. A lot of people have this goal: I want to be successful. But that's putting the, if you imagine the horse and the cart that comes after the horse, that's putting that's getting the order wrong, because you've got to get the order, the sequence of things, because the sequence leads to the consequence, the consequence being the end point. So you've got to get the order, which is the sequence, and maybe that's why they call those special groups orders, because not just the fact that they follow orders that are given, it's because you've got to get everything in the right order. There are steps, there are logical steps for each process. You need to get the steps correct. So a lot of people are putting the cart before the horse, which is completely wrong, because they're putting success out in front of themselves. And success comes from what you have done, not from what you will do. So by projecting success into the future, they forget about the present moment where they are. They paralyze themselves. They're not able to go forward, and they can't understand the principle that success comes from what you have done. The analogy is a person swimming through water. Behind them creates a stream, and this stream of energy then affects things around about them. I get this from myself, going swimming, and I'm in the swimming pool and someone swims past me, and I feel the water move me a little bit to the left or to the right, and this is their effect in the past of their action.
What was the success? that you are alive?
Yeah, success is I didn't drown.
Yeah,
because there are some big people in the pool. Yeah, and they've got a lot takes a lot of energy to move those people. And
so you see, the success is very relative word, very relative quality.
Yeah, well, there's
it depends on everyone own perception.
It's the passage of time related to history. Success is never where you are. It's more about what you have done and where you have been. I had this image in my head of the singer David Bowie. When I thought about success, I was thinking, what was success? And the success was not where he was. The success was everything that he had done. It was everything that came before. That was the success. Success is in your past. If you do the right things and do the right work and make the right choices, success is in your past.
For me, it means success is dead. Because past is dead.
That was that was the very first thing in our very first recorded conversation.
Oh no, let's continue. But it's an important point.
The past is dead. By that you mean you can't change the past. That's what you're trying to say. You can't change the past. You can't reach into the past and change it. Is that why it's dead? Why is it dead?
Why is that?
Yeah, why is the past dead?
Because past is not here. Past is not living now. Past is something which is completely finished, without any possibility of change. It means when we are not able to change something, or when it is not able to change itself, it means it is not alive. What is life? What is life? Life means movement, changing. But past is stable. Past is without changes. Past is dead for me. This is not life.
Okay, so you're either going forward or
Yeah.
or you are in stagnation, which is essentially negative. See, I was talking about quality earlier. Quality is important to me. It's very important to me in everything that I do, that there is some kind of quality as a result. And that's interesting, because I'm not looking for success. I'm looking for quality. I'm not looking for a successful relationship. I'm looking for a quality relationship. I'm not looking for a successful product. Obviously, I guess if something sells a lot, it's successful. But I'm not looking for a successful product. I'm looking for a quality product.
What it means, quality for you? Which product is product of high quality?
Well, let me give you the opposite example. Yeah. I took everything home from the office to wash it, and as a result, I didn't have any normal spoons. And so over there, you've got a cup of tea, and I put a plastic spoon in the tea. Right. That's not quality.
Why?
Because it's a plastic. Oh my God! Somebody just got shot.
This is a firework.
Firework.
Yeah.
Good.
I don't understand why, but it was firework again.
Why? Because it's Monday.
16th. Yeah, because of Monday.
It's Monday.
Blue Monday.
Monday fireworks.
Do you know Blue Monday in Slovakia? This is the special day for our builders, building workers.
No, tell me more. Tell me more about Blue Monday.
Oh, this is.
It's a song, no?
A very hard topic, but
it was an English pop song from the
maybe
from the 1980s or something. I knew on Blue Monday. Anyway.
Blue Monday is a day free without work.
Blue Monday. Yeah. Why is it blue? Why is it blue?
I don't know why blue, but
because that would be communist. No,
it was
red.
It was used. Yeah, it was used in socialism.
Blue Monday.
Blue Monday.
Yeah, but as usual under socialism, nothing made any sense at all. One person decided everything, and that was it.
But all people knew about Blue Mondays, and they knew that they may expect some special effects.
Yeah, everything under communism had a special,
like firework today.
Yeah. Communism, where everyone had a job but nobody went to work. What was that about?
Nobody went to work. Everyone must or had to go to work.
Oh, everyone went to work, but nobody worked.
Ah.
To a certain extent.
There were some exceptions from this rule.
There were some exceptions. Yeah. Not everybody died in the First World War.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, there are some. Not everybody died in the war.
Let's come back to success. Let's come back to quality.
Quality. Yeah, I was making a point that it's always easier to point out.
Yeah. Why this plastic spoon is not good quality?
I don't like it. First of all, it's plastic. Second of all, it's that horrible kind of white plastic, and it's probably got bad chemicals in it that have made it. It's probably a byproduct of the oil industry or something. And
this is harmful for people here, for health.
Yes, I'm harming your health by giving you a plastic spoon.
Thank you very much, but I must be stronger and stronger. And
that what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, right?
I must be able to use this
I'm sorry I
part
mentioned it
without
get it away. I don't want
without problem with my health.
It's bugging me. See, little things kill. It's the little things that annoy me.
Okay.
Throw it away. It's the little things. Yeah.
Give me an example of good quality.
The services provided by this institution of language school that are here are obviously of a very high standard.
This is typical example. I expected it.
What? This selfish example? I'm going to talk about myself now.
Maybe, but it's relative again. What is good quality for anyone?
Oh yeah, there are people who come here and don't like what it is that that I do and we do here, because it's far too alternative for most people. So yes, everybody likes and wants something different. Some people are happy to live in shit, and they think that that's quality, and I think that that's sad. Basically. There are. It's the old world and the new world. I was making the point before about the scientific method. I think the scientific method, this empirical way of looking at reality and testing things, and the basic concepts of the original schools were all correct. Let's just take the world and let's just give them everything, and let's just educate them, and let's just drive forward with our, because we can't leave everything to be the same, and the people need help, they need guidance, they need to be pointed in the right direction, and speak English or die, which was the British foreign policy was then enacted, and that had a sort of terrible effect as people tend to hate Britain around the so-called empire. So we don't need to be aggressive about it, but I think all of these things started with good in mind.
Oh. Ringing bells.
Yeah, someone didn't turn off their phone again. Yeah.
Again and again.
Where are your standards? Where are your standards? How
this is my quality mobile.
Yeah. Right. How are we supposed to have a quality presentation with plastic spoons and mobile phones ringing? And other things.
This is life.
It's not the kind of life that I want. I've got my. I was ranting about that with my partner this morning.
What do you think about quality of animals' life far away from civilization, in the center of jungle, in wild jungle?
That's an unexpected question.
Yes,
actually,
I know.
But before I answer that, keep that question in mind. Before I answer that, when we were thinking about quality of life, it popped into my head. What about is quality of death important? Does it matter? Probably doesn't matter, does it? Because that's just it, isn't it? You sort of. Is there a kind of quality of death? Like, if you go like that, would that be quality, or would that be something else? Probably not. Anyway, just a strange thought that went through my head. Searching for quality in all areas of my life, you see, it's necessary to to think about. If I'm going to have a quality life, I'm going to need to have a quality death as well at the same time.
But the quality of your life depends only on yourself.
What do you mean? I can't point the finger at you and say, you are responsible. It's your fault that my life is so
You can do it, but it's not true.
Thank you. Thank you for the permission to blame you for everything that's gone wrong in my life. Yeah, the finger of blame always needs to bend round and point back at the self.
Finally.
Yes. So my hand is shaking now.
Finally, this is the right direction.
It's your fault. What do you mean my fault? Ugh. Gotta split myself into two and have a conversation with myself now about all my personal problems. Right. It's not a bad idea, actually. The different yous. We'll get into that in a conversation in the future. All the different forms of you that exist. You. Yeah, it's interesting that you. Just random thoughts. It's interesting that you is also what we call the female sheep in English. Yeah. So there's a lot of, and that brings us back to animals, and you were talking about the jungle. So there's a segue back into the conversation. So
back to the jungle.
What do I think about animals? What do I think about animals living in the middle of the jungle with no contact with humans?
How about their living standards? About quality of their life?
I don't know.
What do you think?
Do they have double glazing, central heating systems, toilets, sewage? Do they have libraries? Who builds the roads? What kind of electoral system do they have? Is it a democracy? Yeah.
And special hospitals and doctors with
it's funny that
with pills.
Humans have animal hospitals, right? But animals don't have human hospitals. But then I guess that's humans' responsibility for some animals. Some people are nicer to animals than they are to people. Have you noticed that? That's weird. Like some people.
And another question: do you think that this wild jungle is dirty or clean?
I know my clothes get dirty if I go there. Well, what we're talking about is nature, aren't we? Nature.
Well, some wild forest, somewhere far away from city and from village.
Oh, like you mean near where I live?
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, where there are bears and
is nature
pigs and
there clean or dirty? What do you think? The quality of cleaning is good or bad?
Well, okay. I think I get the point.
Yeah.
The point is who makes a mess, right? And people always make a mess. Because the only dirty area of the countryside is the dirt that's left by people, where people leave their rubbish. And there's a little road near where I live. It goes up one hill and down the other side. And when you go down the other side and you look to the left down the valley, you can see all the furniture that people have removed from their houses. Now the sad fact is it wouldn't be that difficult to make a fire in your garden and burn the furniture, which is one way to do it, or order some container, which costs money, and people don't want to spend money on these things and throw the things into the big container. But you can see there are cupboards and shelves and chairs and couches and bathrooms, and it's just people have just thrown it into the countryside, and it's quite terrible. I get angry when I see it. I get angry to the point of wanting to be physically violent when I see that. I just want to punch these people in the face and say, "What are you doing to the countryside?" So that's what I meant when I was talking about the scientific method, bringing in schools to teach people about basic hygiene, basic health, basic standards, basic civility, and
standards of
politeness.
quality. There are interesting standards.
Well, that's what
I will ask you the third question from this type of questions. What do you think about quality of wild trees? Are they of good quality or bad quality?
quality of wild trees.
Yes.
That's the weirdest question that anyone has asked me. I don't know anything. I wouldn't know. Like, if the tree is standing, it's all right. If it's lying down,
It's not all right.
There's something wrong with it.
So,
Yeah.
standing tree is of good quality and
And a lying tree,
is of bad quality.
usually.
Usually.
Usually, that's from my personal experience. It's also easier to move a lying tree than it is a standing tree.
Point. Another
Yes.
point
Yes.
from my experience.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
My
yeah,
experience.
yeah,
Experience. It means quality is connected with your own experience. Or no?
Oh, everything is connected with your own experience.
Oh, yeah.
If one
Okay.
person has read only Dostoevsky novels and
Mm-hmm.
they're saying, oh, these Dostoevsky novels, can't even say it. Dostoevsky novels are wonderful, and someone has read only I don't know, Alexander Dumas or whatever, and he says only Alexander Dumas, and someone's read only Turgenev and says Turgenev is fantastic, and so on, then of course your experience is going to be shaped by your quality, your understanding of quality is going to be shaped by your experience, definitely.
So, standards of quality are very relative.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but I've got my standards in my life, and I'm sick of people who don't have any standards, because standard was
Any standards according or wanted or required by you?
I set high standards. I set high goals, because I don't think if you don't set a goal to climb to the top of the ladder, you're not going to get to the top, really. So you've got to give yourself some kind of target to move yourself. And when someone has no goals or no standard's an interesting word, actually, because standard meant flag in the past. Your standard was your pole with your flag that was carried by the army, that said who you fought for and what you stood for and what you were fighting to support and what you believed in. So it's symbolic of a lot of other things. It's symbolic of, we often come back to self-knowledge, and having good standards is symbolic of having some level of self-knowledge, because then you know what is right for you when you have the good standard. If you don't have self-knowledge, you just don't know what's right for yourself.
Yes, this is a very important point, and this is very difficult to know, and to know yourself, to know what is good or what is bad for me. This is the essential question. And do you think that you are able to answer this basic question? What is good or what is bad for you?
Is that the question? What's good or bad for me? Yeah, I do. I think I spent about 40 years making a mistake, though.
Me too.
Thinking that this is good for me because this is normal. So that's always a mistake. And
Self-knowledge.
Normalcy is just a lack of self-knowledge, because that's, oh, this is normal for society, this is normal for people, this is normal for the world. It's normal is not even an argument, it's not even anything. It's just an excuse to not improve, because you need to put effort into yourself. So
you must use only your personal experiences to know what is good or what is bad for you, without any normal standards of quality, without any normal standard or standards of living.
It's also interesting that what is good has always been good. It hasn't really changed throughout history. Let's take the last 2,000 years, right? What was good to do 2,000 years ago, what was healthy to do 2,000 years ago, is essentially still good and still healthy. Today we've added a lot of things to life. We've added a lot of negative activities to the things that we do.
We can dance again, but
yeah, I gotta
small interrupting.
Get into the groove. It's like an advertisement section. Do I know what's good for me? I've constantly made mistakes with that in the past. I thought something was right and it was wrong. Now changing things for a lot of people is very scary, because change can mean going in either direction. You can change something and make it much better, or you can change something and make it much worse. We all have experience of trying to repair things, right? Something breaks, whether it's a bicycle or a washing machine or something else, where we try to fix it and repair it ourselves, and the result is that it doesn't even turn on. After that, sometimes we do fix it. There are talented people out there who can fix almost anything, but I'm not one of them. And
but you said that there are some things, they are good always in our complete history, in last 2,000 years.
Yes.
So give me some examples, please.
Okay. Self-knowledge. I'm throwing it back at you, okay?
Yes, this is very helpful.
It was understood 2,000 years ago that having self-knowledge was a way to improve the quality of your life, and it's still the same today.
Okay, another example, please. more practical, not so abstract.
Well, I always come back to the 10 Commandments. I come back to the principle of moral value.
Oh, I have seen very nice video where one man
explains how bad
explained these 10 rules, and he replaced 10 rules by 2 rules, and it was absolutely enough for all our life.
2 rules?
Yes.
What were the 2 rules? Can you remember?
It was too complicated explanation. We must see it again. because when if I
where are your standards? You have to remember these things. Come on, where are your standards?
I have almost no standards.
Oh, God. Like most of my friends. Right. Oh, it doesn't matter. Oh, somebody else's problem. I'll tell you how to... If you want to understand how to set yourself a series of positive standards, it's very simple. Give yourself one little principle. The principle is don't do anything today which might have a positive, which might have a probable negative effect on tomorrow.
What is positive and negative effect?
Negative
This is
effect,
again very relative.
like I had a negative effect when you came to visit me last week. Okay, I was having negative effects of the night before, right? So that obviously I did something which was going to have a negative effect on the next day, and I wasn't sensible enough to not do that. So we shouldn't do anything in the present moment which is going to have a potential negative effect on the future. And one way of doing that is looking at the relationship between today and tomorrow. And how you understand that on the other side is that if you want to have a successful tomorrow, but you can only live in the moment, then you have to take a piece of tomorrow and bring it into today. If you take a piece of tomorrow and bring it into today, then what you can do is feel like you're already affecting the future. So I didn't apply any of those principles, and the result was very bad. That doesn't really answer your question, I'm quite sure, but I felt good to say it anyway. You want principles. You want what was good a long time ago, which is still good now. To a certain extent, be yourself.
Mm-hmm.
No,
be yourself. It's very nice.
It's very nice as long as you're a nice person. You see, a lot of the moral and ethic value only has value when it's placed in the concept of niceness. It's like to give love is a great virtue if you are virtuous. But you could give love and not be a virtuous person, and wish to have other kinds of effects on the world around about you. So there's a reflection on yourself, and a need to be good within that. Virtue has its greatest value when it's done by virtuous people. A bad person doing a good thing from time to time is pretty pathetic, really. I've just probably made a statement that doesn't make much sense. To be yourself. What I'm thinking about is if you're a psycho killer, then if you are yourself, then that could be extremely negative. Although I remember in one of our previous conversations, you said that this urge, this negative urge, this dark urge to do things is when the person is not themselves. They've been taken over by something like a negative spiritual energy, which I would also say is just learning a series of bad lessons.
Some negative entities, not negative spiritual energies, because spiritual energies, there are some completely different qualities.
I'm sorry. I was trying to remember what you said.
Yeah.
But
so again, be yourself as human being. It's a very important rule. Maybe this is one of these two valid rules. Be yourself and don't kill. That's enough.
You see, that don't kill doesn't work, right? Because what if someone's trying to kill you?
when you are yourself, the second rule is completely useless.
Well, what if someone's trying to kill you? I mean, would it not be reasonable to maybe not want to kill them, but that might be a result of self-defense? If say someone is shooting at you, it would be logical to shoot back at them, right?
No.
No. What do I do? Hold up my magic hand and say, bullets, stop?
That's the better solution.
Oh, as the bullets fly through my hand into my brain. It's not going to work. You know, the passive approach has its limits. Like John F. Kennedy had a fairly passive approach to security. Look where it got him. Gandhi had a fairly passive
but you have
approach to
prepared
security.
these situations, and the solution will prepare another situation in your future. So when you have created the situation when someone wants to kill you, this is your problem. And there are and you can kill him, but it will cause in your future he will come again and he will want to kill you again.
Well, I can't if he's dead.
Yes.
So I'm looking at it from a very...
This is a question of understanding of life, global life, and the reincarnation, and but this is the cosmic process. You are creating all events in your future, and when you are in the center of some bad, for you relatively bad situation, you only have created this situation, and you must solve this situation. Yes, this is your finger again.
I'm pointing at you.
So you will shoot
Yourself.
yourself.
I'm not sure that shooting another person is shooting yourself if it's self-defense. That doesn't make much.
When you shoot other person, you are shooting yourself simultaneously.
Well, not if they start shooting at you first. You know what my opinion is about negative people and bad people? There are some people who I don't think have any positive use for society and the world whatsoever. And if they weren't on this planet, I don't think they would be that much missed by the universe. Now, that's just my interpretation. My interpretation could be completely wrong. What about the completely messed up drug addict, alcohol addicted guy who beats up his wife
addicted
and eats the bad food and is just going to get terribly sick as a result? Like there's a history of alcoholism in my family, and it's quite hard.
And sorry, do you think that these addicted people are bad people, or they are people with low standard? Or?
Well, they're definitely people with low standards. They're people with no standards. Some of the time, it's quite terrible.
But you see, or you know, we all are addicted on something. So it means
it's not. My problem is not the addiction. My problem is the standards. And what you're addicted to. You can be addicted to good things, right? Say I'm addicted to fresh fruit and exercise. I mean, that's essentially not a bad thing. Although addiction is usually overuse of something. So I mean that the very term addiction. Addiction is just strong habit. Habits can be good or bad. So you need to change the habit. You cannot remove the addiction. You can't remove addiction any more than you can remove habits from life. So it's absolutely not possible to remove an addiction. You can only transform or transfer or maybe even transcend the addiction into something else. But you can't get rid of it completely. And there are... No, I'm not for... I said that there are some people the world would be better without. I'm not for that as an option. It's just a passing feeling, like the same feeling I get when maybe that chocolate bar would be really nice to eat, but I don't eat it. Yeah, it's an honest passing emotion or feeling that I have. I'm definitely not, hey, let's take all the people who are no good for society, let's take them out and shoot them. I'm not supporting anything like that. Maybe medical experimentation. No, that's a joke. That wouldn't be good either. But I've seen it. I've seen people who produce nothing and they just suck off everyone else, mostly politicians. Like vampires, leeching everything out of society. So there are definitely, without a doubt, people who have negative effects on the world around about them. And one of the points I made at the beginning before our discussion was, in our pre-discussion, was that I said sometimes I feel that more people just mean more problems. And so I understand why the elites are going, yeah, let's depopulate the planet. Yeah, let's get rid of these people. Oh, these people. I get it. I mean, I imagine that somebody who came to the village that I lived in would probably realize that about 20% of the people who live in the village are degenerate with very little to contribute to society. Now, I don't say nothing because they might be able to contribute something small to society which might make a big difference. Right? Let's say I'm away from home during the day for some reason, and say someone tries to break into my house and one of these people sees this person breaking in. It does something, maybe stops them or something like that. So everyone has a purpose in life. Everyone has an opportunity to have a positive effect. It's just whether or not they choose to activate that within their own mind, which again comes back to standards and quality and what's acceptable and what's not acceptable.
More people equals more problems, but the definition of word problem might be an opportunity to develop yourself.
Problems equal opportunities.
Problems equals opportunities to go.
Yeah, it's a challenge. You meet the problem, and it's a test of a person's character sometimes, whether or not they step forward and embrace the problem and use that as an opportunity to grow, or whether they step back and tell themselves, oh, I can't do it, this is not for me, I'm too scared, I'll tomorrow or maybe after tomorrow I might look at it. They tell themselves whatever it is they need to tell themselves. So.
From this point of view, the negative people are necessary for your personal development, because negative people equals problems equals opportunity to step forward.
I don't want you to be right, but I think you are right on that concept. Yes, but again, before I've said that we sharpen our swords on the hardest of stones, or maybe the hardest of situations, which is that in order to experience a substantial amount of growth, you have to go through a substantial amount of painful transformation. Now, not all pain is negative. The classic example is the caterpillar becoming the butterfly, right? Yeah, it's probably it's probably not a pleasant process for the caterpillar. It's probably a bit of a rough process for the caterpillar.
For the caterpillar, it's not very positive process for surroundings of caterpillar, because caterpillar is a very negative animal that
I've never met a negative
eats
caterpillar.
a lot of green leaves, for example.
Yeah, all animals that eat green leaves are negative.
But the caterpillar is absolutely...
Why is the caterpillar negative? I don't understand.
Yes.
Why? What is it? Is it? Does it have personal problems? Is it bad parenting? Why is the caterpillar negative?
They eats a lot of material, much more than other animals. In comparison,
Maybe it needs
in comparison with its height.
Maybe, I don't know. Maybe it's
So-
got a personal image complex or something. I don't.
Maybe.
Maybe you need to eat a lot of greens if you want to change into a different form. Maybe that's the secret. Maybe if we all eat more greens, we'll all change into butterflies, right?
Maybe that's only academic conversation. We don't know if it's painful process for caterpillar to change to the butterfly or not.
But, or take the person who's this is a bad example, right? But just go with it. Take a person who wants to build up muscles and does weightlifting. It's not a I know you're going to say that's a useless activity. I know you're going to say that, but it's not exactly a pleasant process to go through all of the training and the reps and the hard work you have to go through. I mean, I remember an interview with Mr. Muscle, Arnold Schwarzenegger, where he said that he said that he would sleep 3 hours and get up and train, and he was obsessed with training.
Oh, really?
He was obsessed with training. He wanted to be the best. He would in fact, the equipment to train on didn't exist when he started training, so he had to invent it.
Mm-hmm.
He had to find ways of doing exercises. And I remember that he talked about doing upside down rowing. I remember the interview, and I was thinking, what is that? People got enough problems rowing the normal way around, right? So if you're in a boat, how would you do upside down rowing? I mean, that's just crazy. But it's that kind of determination that leads you to transformation. And whether or not you like him as a person, his determination and drive led...
He's a typical example of a successful man in your concept.
No, because his personal life was not a success. So, so he's not.
So there are minimally two kind of success: personal success and professional success.
Yeah, I think that what it is intellectual success and emotional success.
Intellectual and emotional success.
So the intellectual translates into business.
And spiritual success, the third one.
I think there is a spiritual success as well.
Yeah,
I'm not
maybe.
exactly sure how you measure that, because I'm all for measurement of things.
Measurement is very problematical in all these areas, I think.
No, not in business. Business is a very practical concept.
The state of your account.
Yeah. Well, I never need to check it because there's never anything there. So.
So this is typical contradiction. Is it English word, contradiction?
It is English word.
Yeah. In my opinion,
Contra, opposite, diction.
Yeah. My opinion, there are many people who seem to be successful, but their accounts are in very bad condition.
Okay, you're talking about people who borrow millions and then invest millions, and
Not only about these people. There are many people in the street. They use luxury limousines. They wear very expensive suits, but their bank accounts are in very bad conditions. Are they successful in business area or not? What do you think?
If they're not in prison, they're probably doing okay. Well, in my opinion, no, because I don't know, because
So
I had
what-
to borrow
what's-
money
what-
to I had
what's-
to borrow money to buy my house. There was no other way there's no other way to buy my house except to borrow money from the bank, and then to promise to pay the money back to the bank, which I'm promising. So, like, I could say that my house is not my house. I could say the bank owns my house. I could say that I owe the bank money. Like, everything is paid, but you could say that I'm in a financially negative situation because of
And are you feel like successful in your business or not?
That's a difficult personal question, because
Yeah.
I'm driven to search for higher standards in
You-
everything that I do, and so the moment I get close to success, or the goal that I want to achieve, I redefine it, because
Yes.
because it's like I said earlier, but about jogging, right? You set yourself like 1 kilometer, and then you do that. Then you set yourself 2 kilometers, then 3 kilometers, then 4 kilometers, then 5 kilometers, and it's constant redefinition as the world around about you alters, and as you improve, you set yourself new goals and higher targets.
So the most important thing for you is your own measurement of your own success. Only you can say about yourself if you are successful or not.
I think I don't know. That's not objective, though, is it?
Not objective. This is nothing about objectivity or subjectivity.
But I want things to be objective. If I say it is because I say it is, that's ridiculous.
But what it means objective? What is objective? Because of other person say about it, it's objective.
I don't know.
This is
don't
a
know.
question of measurement.
I'd have to go to a dictionary of etymology to try to define that concept
Objectivity.
of object, because object might have some other meaning. Let me just
Yeah.
let me just bring up the keyboard here. It's going to be about perspective, isn't it? Object. It's not even the root. The root is object, and you've got object.
Object, prefix ob, and the root ject.
It would be that way. Let's see
Yeah.
what we get. Objective. Miracles of modern technology. You see, before there would be no way to even explore this. Now I can explore this on my phone. Objective, something objective to the mind, from objective, adjective meaning goal or aim. Goal or aim. Military term, objective point. That's the aim of your military action. Philosophical sense, considered in relation to its object, objective. Formed from the medieval Latin objectivus, objectum, object. And we've got other things, and it says, see the word object in the etymology. Object as a noun, tangible thing. Thing perceived or presented to the senses. So not beyond the senses, but to the senses. From the medieval Latin objectum, thing put before the mind or before sight or in front of you. Latin objectus, lying before or opposite you. No object, a thing that is not important. Yeah, that's from ob. Okay, here we go. Get there. Ob meant against.
Against, okay.
Like lots of prefixes mean against, like anti would mean against as well. Ob. And ayasere, I think I've pronounced that wrong, which meant to throw. To throw against. To present opposites. To be objective, to understand opposites. The original meaning to throw against something. Object as in a form of...
Very nice definition. to be objective, to understand, opposite.
Opposite sides. Yeah, it's interesting. And it also has a relation to jet as well as a verb, but I'm not going to go down that road today. Object. Interesting. So, how do we get to object? What were we talking about?
We
Objective.
we talked about meaning of successful. I said that it depends only on your own feeling if you are successful, and you said that you want some objective measurement of success.
Yeah, because I could say that I'm successful, but that wouldn't be objective at all, because I would need a reference point. I would need to discuss it with people around about me and see what they thought.
Are you interested in what people talk about you?
No, but I'm interested in people's opinion, because I need that basic form of Socratic dialogue to have an understanding of my reality. Because if I say I'm successful and I talk to my 3 or 4 best and most intelligent friends and they all say no, you're not successful, then I have to reevaluate my position. And it could be that they're wrong and I'm right.
But in this point, on the point of success, for me it's the most important, my opinion, when I say about my success, about if I am successful.
It's more about happiness, isn't it? It's not more about happiness and success.
Happiness is very close to success, in my opinion, in my understanding of quality of my life. I don't need nothing more than to be happy and to be lucky, and this is success for me.
Yeah, but
in my opinion, in my explanation of success,
a degenerate gypsy wandering around with a bottle of wine in their hand might say the same thing.
Maybe.
That would be a very intelligent thing to say, though. Although I don't disagree with you, I'm just being objective.
Do you think that for these people is important your opinion of their success?
No, you're quite right. I have to question anyone who values my opinion, to be honest. Yeah, but some people do, but others don't. There we go. That's it. Right, that was our discussion all the way from all the way from great and good to success we've had today, and we're keeping it short, right?
Yeah.
We're keeping it short and sweet today.
It's enough for today.
Yeah, so it means the next one's going to be about 4 hours. You know that. If we do
Oh no! It's today. It was completely very
I like
good.
the longer conversations. I know it's difficult for people to listen to, but I sometimes you need to go deeper and deeper and deeper
Okay.
and deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper into the conversation to fully understand things. And there's a certain flow that comes from conversations. You can't just sit down and just, automatically pump out brilliant philosophical ideas. You've got to go where the road takes you, and that's the great understanding from the longer conversations, is that sometimes it does take an hour to get into the main topic or thing.
It might be true, yes.
In that, and then it's probably good that people didn't hear me screaming and shouting earlier. Right, let's put this on pause. Let's just do that. Thank you.